We got some good and bad Assassin's Creed Shadows news, although it also depends on what kind of player you are. I got some info on outfits, some things that Yasuke can wear, but also things that he cannot wear. Let's start with some good news because romance are back and seems like they're going to work a bit different this time. For one, just like in Odyssey and Valhalla, we can still choose to pursue romantic relationships or not. But because there are two completely different playable characters, they will now have both their own unique romances, while in Odyssey, for example, both Alexios and Cassandra had the exact same options. Now there will still be same-sex romance options for both characters, just like in the previous RPGs, but it seems that the overall focus is a lot more on platonic relationships, so without the romantic features. This is what narrative director Brooke Davies told me. I think something that's unique in Shadows is we're going to have some more developed relationships. A chance to really get close to people, get to know people, all sorts of different relationships for Naoe and Yasuke to explore. Like we already know about some key characters like Oda Nobunaga, one of the most powerful men of this era, who will give a prominent role to Yasuke in his army, and Fushibayashi Nagato, Naoe's father. But there will be way more characters we meet, of course, that we don't know about yet, and some can be romanced. So it's not like a dating simulator. Like, we do really have more serious relationships, a long-term relationship to develop, some lighter romances as well, but you do get to know some of these people quite well and pursue something. We of course have to wait and see, but it does sound more fleshed out and incorporated into the game compared to Valhalla. Probably closer to how Odyssey did it, which makes sense because it's the same team developing Shadows. I, by the way, also learned that we cannot miss any romance options depending on choices, and got way more details about the seasons and outfits. Of course, leaving a like would really help me out if you enjoy the videos here on the channel. But first, the sponsor that makes it all possible, the Oregon Trail, that has a very positive rating on Steam, but is available on every platform with a limited time discount of 40% right now as well. I love the graphical style, but it's the gameplay that in particular makes this game special. So you start the game by picking a party of 4 travelers, and it's smart to look at their strengths and weaknesses here and then stock up on some resources. During your adventures, you will face many dilemmas, like do you help people you encounter or not? Who from your party is the best suited for the current activity? I had a banker with me who could haggle the price down while trading. It's smart to have someone who's capable of hunting to have enough food. There's also the Cowboys and Critters DLC with brand new quests and adventures, and is included in the special deluxe physical edition for PS5 and Switch. It's out on July 18th, but you can pre-order it now at major retailers. Like again, the game is available on almost every platform. Just check the special link in the video description to also get a special 40% discount on PC for a limited time. Checking the game out would really support the channel, so thanks for that, and now let's get back into it. We also learned more about the interesting season feature that, next to changing the look of the world, should also have a big impact on the gameplay. Like the water Naoe crawled through to easily get close to the enemy will be frozen in the winter, so can't be accessed to easily reach the assassination target. And in the winter there will also be ice on rooftops that can fall down and make a sound when you walk over it. So this should make outpost infiltrations quite different. And well, the seasons change way more often than I first thought. It's not like, say, Hogwarts Legacy, where a season is set until you progress with the main story. In Shadows, the seasons can still change at the start or the end of a main quest to show the passage of time, but it's overall more dynamic. Charles, the game director, told GameSpot that once you reach the open world of Shadows, which early on likely comparable to reaching England in Valhalla or leaving Kefalonia in Odyssey, like when the game opens up, when you reach that open world, there will be a clock that starts to tick in the background. The game director notes that they register how much you play and then switch the season when it makes sense. Meaning that when just doing open world activities or hunting down Templar targets, the seasons can still change. It's not only linked to the main missions. And while going after these targets should be similar to what we saw in Odyssey and Valhalla, so you can also go after them in the order you want. Only this time, thanks to the seasons feature, assassinating the target can be quite different per person, because you can take these targets out in one of the 4 seasons. So maybe I kill someone in summer while you kill that same person in winter. Now some missions are locked into a specific season, probably the historical events that also happened during a particular time, so only makes sense in one particular season. But it does seem like we cannot switch the seasons ourselves, that it will be a dynamic system, similar to how the day and night cycle works in this game, like we don't have the meditate feature anymore. To me that's bad news. I like to have these options, also to record gameplay during daytime, because they can see things way better. But I also get that it's kinda taking away from the experience if you can tweak everything. So that's why I think what Spider-Man 2 did is the best of both worlds. So throughout the game you cannot change, but then after finishing the main story you have a feature that can let you change the time of day on the fly. I hope we get that freedom in Shadows as well, after finishing the main quest. But yeah, curious to hear your take, of course, in the comments down below. Now let's talk about armor. In the Collector's Edition trailer, we already see some really cool outfits we can expect for Yasuke, and next to his regular samurai armor, we can see him wear a robe with very cool blue shoulder plates and a straw hat. Should be awesome to find this set in the game, and here he has a straw hat again, but with a kimono. And we saw him wear one in the first gameplay trailer without the headgear, because it seems like, just like in Odyssey, during conversations with NPCs and in the many cutscenes, the game will automatically remove your headgear to show your facial expression. And I remember this being an issue when Odyssey came out, like quite some people, including myself, at least wanted the option to show headgear in cutscenes. And then at one point we found a glitch where if you would go into the photo mode just before entering a scene, you would actually be able to see Cassandra or Alexios with headgear, which made these conversations way cooler. Now luckily there are still some scenes with action or in restricted areas where we will keep our headgear on, but it seems that most scenes will force them off. So let's hope there's a toggle so we can choose to show it or not. And Spanish YouTuber Raviti, link to his channel will be in the video description, he confirmed in an interview also with the narrative director that there would be a lot of motion capture scenes in Shadows. And that's good news, because they've been mostly absent from the big RPGs. And even in Mirage, we only got some cool motion capture scenes for important moments at the start and the end of the game. So it seems like Shadows will improve the amount at least a bit compared to Odyssey, Valhalla and Mirage. Although, it's of course still a big game, so we will have to wait and see how it all shakes out. But there's also some bad news, which raises a lot of questions. When I namely asked the associate game director if Yasuke could wear a hood, he said the following: Yasuke with a hood? That would be cool. I don't think we have a hood for Yasuke. He's more the samurai type. He likes his helmet. Yeah, that kinda sucks to hear. Like, sure, a more traditional assassin's robe would not fit his super aggressive let's shoulder bash through doors playstyle, but in the previous RPGs it was still very cool to fight enemies head on with a hood on. There was a reason why one of the most requested features for Valhalla was the ability to keep our hood on during combat. They finally added it in an update long after launch, because first it would automatically go down when spotted. But in Shadows it seems that Naue can only use a hood, and so far we haven't seen a lot of different looks for her apart from her Ultimate Edition outfit, which does look awesome. But yeah, where in Valhalla both characters could rock a Helix armor with a hood or without, in Shadows, Yasuke will exclusively have the helmet, while Naue the hood. And I really wonder how this will impact the legacy outfits. Like, does that mean that Yasuke won't have legacy outfits, because these legacy outfits all have a hood? Unless they call something like the Spartan War Hero set from Odyssey a legacy outfit. I mean, it would be cool to have that armor in Shadows, but that's of course not the same. So will then only Naue get Altair's or Ezio's robe? We saw female versions of those outfits in Odyssey and Valhalla, but worth noting is that in Syndicate, the game of course with a dual protagonist system that is way closer to Shadows, Evie could only wear legacy outfits from other female characters. So I'm really curious what they will do here. Let me know your thoughts of course in the comments down below, and we'll totally ask about the legacy outfits when I get the chance. So subscribe for way more Assassin's Creed Shadows videos. I got more exclusive details coming your way very soon, so keep an eye out for that. A like would of course really help me out, and check out the previous video with big details on Yasuke's stealth, which is very different compared to Naue. You can watch it by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.